In this lesson, we'll take a look at how we can use surface noise to add detail to the surface of our models. So let's say we want to add some sort of high-res bumpiness to this model without having to sculpt across the whole thing. We just want to do it really quickly. So we'll go into the tool palette under Surface, and let's activate Noise. Now we get a preview of what this is going to look like. You can see how his skin is really sort of bumpy there. You can change the scale of this. So if I increase the scale, you can see better how that bumpiness actually looks. You can also go in and change the curve. So if I click and kind of clip this curve up at the top, you can see that it's sort of clipping those values down there. And if I invert that, it's going to do the opposite basically. And this goes along with this strength, which you can see is a negative value. But if I set this to a positive value, it's going to do the inverse. So we can get back there. So it's kind of, it goes hand in hand with that strength. But you can get different effects based on how you create your curve. You can even add, more details like that. Really modify it if you wanted to do like a rocky kind of a look, stone, something like that. And so you can play around with the scale. So I think probably for us, I want the scale to be a little bit less. And then also I think the strength maybe I want to take down a little bit. Keep in mind when you bake this scale or bake the noise into your mesh, a lot of times it'll expand a little bit. So there you can see we can get this noise across the surface. Now, we might not want noise everywhere. For instance, if I go in and mask out the areas around the eyes, you can see that I'm not actually getting any of that noise on those masked areas. So I can actually mask areas out so that they don't get that noise pattern. Let's go ahead and mask out the other eye as well. Make that a little bit smoother. And down to the lower lid. And if you wanted to kind of blur that, we could just go to our mask. Oops. And blur it. Okay. We can also come in here and control click to blur it. And we probably don't want as much on the bottom here, so I'll kind of mask that out as well. And then the lips, also I probably want to come in and actually mask those out. Just so we don't get this exact same bumpiness that we have on the face on the lips, which is a different kind of material here. So I'll kind of mask that out. And just real quickly mask out this other side of the bottom lip there. Again, we can blur it, and if you want to come in and mask out this upper lip, you can do that too. Okay, and if you want to see it without the mask, you can turn off View Mask, but you can see here that the noise is really just applied to the areas that weren't masked. Okay, we can also come in here and mask off the inside of the ears. So just think about the areas that you would want to have that detail. Just mask those off. Now you can't always go back in and smooth out the detail. Let me turn this off. So right now the noise is something we can turn it off and on. So it's not baked into the geometry, but if we do want to apply it to our mesh, all we have to do is go in and say apply to mesh. So we'll apply it. And there you can see it sort of bake that in, and it's going to be dependent on the resolution of your model. You'll get a different looking noise when it's just applied versus when you bake it in, because then it has to take into account what the actual resolution is. But we get a little bit of skin detail there, which is nice. You can also go in and there are some preset noises that you can add through Lightbox. And you can go ahead and click those to add them and check those out. And then you can go in and edit them and see what the settings actually are. So that's the basic noise. There's some more advanced noise features that you can access, but that's kind of the basics of applying that. You can also apply noise to your brushes as well. So the next thing we'll do is take a look at some poly painting. So we'll take a look here with this model, going through the process of just laying down a basic color texture as a poly paint for this character. So we'll do that next.